Hello everyone and welcome back to a new episode of my Minecraft survival series. It has been a very long time since I have sat down to record an episode. Reason being, as many of you know, as all of you should know, there has been a lot of craziness going on in the world. My fiance has been working from home lately, so he actually stole my desk that I use to make videos, my recording space, so that he can work from home while we are quarantined. And so I just haven't had the space to be able to record an episode. He's been at home. We have a dog who is very excited that he's home. And so I have to kind of play referee while he's trying to work with the dog just wanting to play with him all day. So that is what I have been doing. It's been a very long time since I recorded an episode, but I finally purchased a new desk for myself to have my recording space back. And so here we are with another episode of Minecraft. I'm hoping to start recording a couple different games on this channel, but for right now, I'm sticking to Minecraft and trying to get some episodes out for you guys. It looked like a lot of people really liked my Alice in Wonderland video that I put out for the entrance to our basement. And so today we are putting out another one of those videos because we are going to be creating the big glass table that Alice encounters when she first enters the rabbit hole. So I have done a little bit of work on this already. I've kind of got the room prepared. As you can probably see over here, last episode, I found some bamboo in one of the shipwrecks. So I was able to grow some bamboo on my own and use that for some scaffolding. So now for the entrance to our basement, I have scaffolding going down. So if you guys don't know, the way that scaffolding works is you can go up or down it. It's easy to break and you can use it for building. Now you can only build out a certain amount with it, but you can build up as high as you want with it. It's made out of bamboo, so I grew a ton of bamboo. I've shrunk it down to about 3 stalks of bamboo now, so that if I need it, I have some, but I grew a ton of bamboo and made a ton of scaffolding. And the cool thing about scaffolding is you can go up it and down it, like I said, so I can use this as the temporary entrance and way in getting in and out of the basement until we can figure out what we're going to do for an exit and get some potions going after we enter the nether and get some of our slow falling potions. So once we get those, the scaffolding will be removed and we will figure out an exit. But like I said, I've done a ton of work. You can see a little sneak peek here on the basement, specifically the first room that we're going to encounter in our Alice in Wonderland theme basement. And this is going to be our house. I call it our basement, but it is going to be our official house. And I believe this first room is going to be our enchanting room. So I decided that we definitely need to get enchanted before we can go to the nether. So the first room obviously should be our enchanting room. So what we're going to do for this room is this is going to be the room that Alice is in when she encounters the giant glass table, which is originally a regular size glass table, where she has to drink the potion to shrink herself down to fit through the door to go into Wonderland. So I took a picture from the actual movie and I used that as my inspiration for this room. You can kind of see it, so let's go take a look. So this is the room that is the first room of our Alice in Wonderland theme house. In the picture that I got, the floors looked yellow and red. I don't know if that was just color correcting from the new versions of the movie, if they were originally black and white, I'm not quite sure, but this is all the pictures that I found was with a yellow and red floor. So that's what we went with. So I used terracotta for the floors because it was kind of an off color, more of a pastel, a little bit of a funky red, funky yellow, and the terracotta colors were perfect. As you guys who play know, terracotta colors are not the exact colors. They're a little bit off, like the white looks pink and all of that. So I used the terracotta just to give it a little bit more of a pastel, an old looking color. And I think it turned out perfect. We're going to talk about what's going on here in just a second, but for the walls, I decided to use glass, 2 different colors of glass for each wall, and concrete behind it. So if you see the picture of the room for Alice in Wonderland, you don't actually see the back wall. I don't believe, I'd have to look at the picture again, but I decided to go with purple for the back wall, and then the left wall and the right wall were blue and red, which is why I went with purple. The ceiling went up pretty high, and so I just decided to make it a gray concrete ceiling, just to kind of give it the look that it goes up a little bit higher. Obviously the walls stop, but just to give it like a plain, uninterrupting color for the ceiling, I went with gray terracotta. Like I said, it's 2 colors of glass, and then this back wall I did gray, just because when you're coming through, we're probably just going to be coming into the room, and then we'll be heading through this wall into the next room so that we can eventually make it to the exit and come out onto the surface in a different area. But that is for a later date. Today, what we're going to be working on is building the big glass table that Alice encounters in this room. Again, it's originally her size, but she shrinks herself down and then it becomes huge. And then there's the whole scenario with the key to getting through the door being on top of the glass table, and so she has to grow herself back up to reach the top of the table. But we're going for the miniature Alice size table, where it is going to take up most of this room, and we are going to incorporate the enchanting table somewhere in it. So the table in the actual movie is entirely made of glass. So we have in this chest is just supplies from making the room, but in this chest setup, we have sand going through into the furnace to be smelted and turned into glass that we will eventually use to build the table. So I am going to sit here AFK, let this glass smelt, and then I will come back once we have enough glass for the table, hopefully. I'm not sure if this is going to be enough sand, but I'm hoping it will be. If not, there's more in here too. If not, we'll go back out and we'll find some more sand and dig that up and get that going. All right, so I got all of my glass smelted. As you can see, it is hanging out in this chest here. And while it was smelting, I decided to take some of the clay that I had sitting over in this chest and build a replica of what I want this table to look like. So it looks best from when you walk straight in. As you probably saw, if you come off to the side a little bit, it looks a little bit funky. It's a little bit of a play with your eyes. So we're most likely just going to be coming straight in through here, heading up to the top, or going straight across to a different room. So really, I wanted it to look the best from this point here. So this is what we are going to do for our glass table. I wanted to build it out of something else first, something that I could pick back up and kind of play around with, whereas glass, I don't have silk touch, obviously, because this is going to be our enchanting table. So I wanted to build it out of something that I could play around with before I put the glass down. So luckily, I think we are going to have plenty of glass, unless we mess up a bunch when we're putting this together. But this took me about 2 stacks of the terracotta, the plain terracotta, or two and a half stacks, about that. So we should have plenty of glass. So I am going to swap this out for the glass for the table, and then we will place down our enchanting table. So here is our glass table. So this is the end product of just using plain glass to make the table. I'm not quite sure if I totally love it. I was kind of thinking that maybe doing like a light gray glass instead of doing plain clear glass might look a little bit nicer, just because you'll be able to see the glass itself a little bit easier instead of it being see-through. That's something I can always change at a later time, but for now, this is what we have for our glass table. We are going to have to figure out how we are going to use it for our enchanting table, if we're going to want to put the enchanting table on top of the table or have it down below our glass table and maybe put something else up on top. That we will have to decide. But this is what we have so far. I think with having the actual glass, just the clear glass, instead of doing like a light gray glass, at least for the top of the table, it makes the back portion of the table kind of disappear. Because the back wall is glass, you don't really see the whole back portion of the table. So I'm gonna kind of think about this a little bit, see if I want to change this glass tabletop out to a light gray glass. Now the tabletop itself took about 1.5 stacks of glass. We have plenty of glass to play around with. I could switch out the top and switch it back probably 3 times at least and still have plenty of glass to play around with. Now let me see, we do have some light gray dye, so let's see how much glass we could dye with that. I'm not quite sure. I always forget how this works, if you have to do all of them or just one piece, but let's see. Yeah, so I would be able to use this for like all of this glass. Did I have another? Oh, I did. I was like, I swear I had 2 stacks of glass, not just like random glass sitting. Okay, let's see. I don't really want to use all of this, but let's get like 1.5 stacks and see how we feel about that. I'm gonna put the rest of this plain glass back, put the gray dye back. If we need more, we can always get more. But I am going to see what I can do with this tabletop to make it a little bit more noticeable, and I will be right back. All right, everyone, so I have swapped out all of the glass on the glass table. I didn't end up doing it for a light gray glass. I went for white. I think it looks a little bit better than the gray, but if I change my mind, I can always change it out for the gray. I did make all of the gray glass, so I kind of just have that sitting around, but let's go take a look at what it looks like now. So I have placed in the door and the pressure plate that will be here for the final room. Right now, I'm going to have to probably place a wooden pressure plate. I actually have that on me so that I can come in and out until we have an exit made eventually. But for right now, we'll have to have something there until we have that exit made. So let's go take a look through the door what this glass table looks like. And there it is. So I did the white. It kind of looks like a jellyfish, if you ask me, with the white glass. But I think I'm going to play around with the legs of the table a little bit more just to see if I can kind of get it looking more like a table. When I had the terracotta as my outline, it looked a little bit better than the glass does. I think the glass legs just look like they come out way farther than the terracotta did. So I think I might try to play around with that and see if I can fix that a little bit, make it look a little bit nicer. But for now, this is what we have. And I think I've decided, as you can see, I have my bookshelves and my enchanting table. I think I've decided that instead of putting it up on top of the table, because you'll be able to see everything through it, I think we're going to put it down underneath the middle of the table. So we'll have our enchanting table, I believe it'll be right here. Yeah, directly under this middle of the table. So we'll actually place that right now. And then I have all the books that I need. If we decide we want to move it later, I have plenty of supplies to make more bookshelves, so that won't be a problem. But I think we are just going to place these around here so that we can actually get our enchanting table going. I don't think I need them in the corners, but I can't fully remember. So I'm just going to place these down. I don't remember how many I actually need. I think you have to have them coming up to here, and then even place them up along the top here. But I'm just going to put down all the bookshelves I have for the most part. We're going to make it look pretty cool. I think that's all we need is those ones. We can check and see if we have a level 30 enchant. Then we can kind of look and see. That looks pretty cool. It looks almost like a little library underneath our table. Now let's see what we have here. Yeah, so we have level 30 enchants, so that'll be fine. I don't remember the exact number of how many bookcases you need, but this is the amount that I'm putting down. I'll save these 3 in case I need to take them up and I need more bookshelves. I could put them along the top there, but I don't really want to block that back wall any more than we need to. So I think that will be perfect. And then I am going to set, I have a chest here, and I'm going to set that somewhere and keep our lapis and everything in it. I might actually just put it right here. Yeah, that works. And then I've got the lapis, and then I will leave the extra bookshelves in there too. So that works. Let me put down this wooden pressure plate here, And I am going to leave this box of stuff here. Where's my iron doors? Because I'll probably need those going into the other rooms. Because I'm going to do the same thing where you can't really go back once you go forward. You have to keep going forward to get to the exit. It might be annoying eventually, but that's fine. So I will keep those iron doors. And that is pretty much this room done. So we have our glass table, our enchanting station set up, all of the decorations. The only thing that I think we're going to change out is once we go to the nether, I think I want to put glowstone down as our light source instead of having to have all of these torches everywhere. I think it'll just look a little bit nicer. So we'll figure out how we'll incorporate that then. It should be easy, like behind the glass and stuff like that. So hopefully that won't be too distracting. But I am done with this room, I think. This looks good to me. Like I said, we might add like a little bottle or some decoration up on top of the table just because that's how it was in the actual movie. So we might add that in. But otherwise, that is this room done. So I think that is going to be it for this episode. It is a little bit of a shorter episode as I was just doing some building off camera for the most part. But next episode, we are going to go back into the mines and get as many diamonds as we can because we clearly need to make new armor. My armor is almost dead, pretty much all of it. My chest plate's doing okay, so we can just get some diamonds to fix that up. But I need pants, I need new boots, and I need a new helmet. We also need to pick up some new tools, so I need a new pickaxe. And I think I'm just going to try and get all diamond tools if I can, since we have the enchanting table now. And then once we have all of that, we can work on enchanting. So depending on how long it takes to find those diamonds, I think we should be able to work on doing some enchanting next episode after we get all of our new diamond armor and diamond tools. So hopefully we can get some books together, get a ton of levels. I'm going to work on that in between episodes, or maybe even after I go into the mines next episode, because depending on how many levels I can get in the mines, or if I die in the mines, I don't want to lose all my levels. So I think I'll do that next episode. I'll just kind of grind out a bunch of levels and see what I can get. And then we will work on enchanting. So that is it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!